okay, wait, I gotta use it first for Twitter, and then... You see, I've got the old iPhone, but the new software on it, so... This will be done by the time the show's over. Alright, I need a lightsaber laser pointer here. Hi! I can see none of you, so that's really bizarre. Yeah, my name's Phil Blade. I write the Bad Astronomy blog for Discover Magazine. I am an astronomer. And obviously the right crowd. You know, I think Will and Adam invited me on stage here because they wanted to lend w00tstock a little bit of intellectual heft, a little academic gravitas. And that's why... Bullshit! Yeah, thank you. Sorry, that's my father. Oh, good. Well, it's not really a talk unless the remote... Ah, there we go. So here's Adam Savage, by the way. You may have seen him there. Thank you, Adam. He's getting good at that. And I do want to thank Will Wheaton as well. But as far as adding the intellectual heft and academic gravitas, to do that, I decided to dick jokes. So there you go. Now, my dick jokes, come on, you know, penis jokes, really? Sadly, yes. How this works is, actually, it turns out that the remote just wants to go by itself. So I'm going to hold this a little more carefully. There are objects in the sky that when we see them in telescopes, and you look at pictures of them, they look like other things. This is called pareidolia, and you get used to that. This is actually called the Eskimo Nebula. And let's see if this works this time. There you go. And it looks like an Eskimo, right? Once you see it, you can't unsee that. There it is. Right? It's wearing a parka. Now you're laughing, of course, this is a sun like the star dying. So there's some, you know, civilization-spanning planet there that's now freezing to death for your amusement. So, wonderful. Now it turns out there are other things like this. This is a crater on the moon that looks like a heart. Another crater on the moon looks like a heart. That's on Mars. Look at that one. How about that double crater? This is a nebula. This is actually forming hundreds and thousands of stars. And you can see the gas here, and there's stars in the center. They're actually eating out the gas from the inside. So they're making a giant cavity in there that happens to look like a heart. So again, you know, millions of civilizations dying for your amusement. And there's also another nebula, and entire galaxies shaped. You see, you gotta have a laser pointer. It's a lightsaber laser pointer if you're giving a PowerPoint presentation about astronomy. But here you go. And basically, I have less than 3 geeks is what I'm trying to say. It's so sweet. But it turns out that heads and hearts, minds and hearts, are not the only thing that astronomical pictures look like. This is an actual image. This is a radio astronomy image of the galaxy M87, which has a billion solar mass black hole in its core, which is blasting out a huge jet. And that's what you're seeing here. And you know, when you look at it, there's this shape here, and it's... do I have to draw you a picture? How do you think we get grants? So that's for real. I'm not making this up. But to bring down the level a little bit, I'd actually like to talk about hierarchical structure formation and modes of star formation in the Higgson compact group 31. I see you're familiar with compact groups, sir. Thank you. So for the next 52 slides. No, okay, I gotta tell you. Now this is from an actual paper. My friend AstroPixie, Amanda Bauer, AstroPixie on Twitter and on the web, she has some of these pictures on her site, and I've seen this before too. This is from a paper. I didn't explain this to my wife when she's like, why'd you do the pictures this way? I said, I didn't do them, the authors did. This is a cluster of galaxies. This is a picture taken from Hubble. It's also a couple of other telescopes in different colors. And you see these galaxies here. This line is an artifact of the detector, but you can actually see these are galaxies here, and they're displayed out. Now, if you don't understand the limits, the size of this cluster, and what's actually in it, the astronomers helpfully outlined them for you. Chris Harder is a professional comedian. I'm a scientist. I look at this and I say, yeah, it's a compact group, you know. This is amazing. This is a PDF. I cut this out from the Astrophysical Journal. They did another one in the paper. They false. This thing is going on its own. They did a false color image of this just so you could see it, just to make sure that, you know, if Peter Max had a huge erection, you would be able to see this. It's uncomfortable. Now this picture, boy, this thing is super sensitive. All right. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. That's what she said. Hot damn, I've been waiting all my life to say that in context. Okay, so a few years ago, the Hubble people start putting out a picture every month, a special picture, one you may not see in the newspapers. And they took this picture of what's called the Keyhole Nebula in Carina, southern constellation. And they put this up on the webpage. And of course, you know, it's this beautiful complex of gas and dust and stars forming. And you can really study this and write tons of papers about it. There's a huge amount of scientific information. But of course, the first thing I saw was this right here. You know, I was using Netscape at the time. This was a few years back. And it only displays the upper left-hand corner. So in fact, this is what I saw. So to make this more obvious for you, so we call this, of course, the FU Nebula. And this made the rounds. This was very exciting for all of us 14-year-old astronomers. So I asked my friend, I can't do that next. This thing is really... I blame the remote. It's a bad carpenter who blames his tools, but I'm an astronomer. So I asked my friend, why did you display it this way when it looks like that? She said, if you flip it over, it looks a lot worse. And it's like, wow, okay, and that's why you can hear it. I thought that was great. In fact, the other thing about this nebula, it's kind of hard to see. This is actually, if you back off a little bit and zoom out, there's actually a different, this is part of the keyhole here. The FU nebula is right here, I believe. It's upside down. But this actually, if you can see what this looks like to you, there's no laughing. No more 15-year-old boys here? After showing you a penis? Yes, ma'am, you have a question. Just an asshole. Oh, come on, I've only been up a couple of minutes. You don't know me that well. I was thinking vagina, but clearly you come from a different part of town. Not everything has to look like a body part, in fact. If you look at this picture from the Spitzer Space Telescope, and you see this dark cloud here.
It's a kraken.
Sound in there. Does anybody know what that is? Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. This made the rounds, and it really does look like a TARDIS. Now, I'm not even touching this thing that's going. I think they're telling me I'm running out of time. Oh, okay. I'll just put this down. My picture is ready to use, so I'll just send that now. That's @BadAstronomer. So, for the final picture I want to show you guys here, this is actually, when Hubble looks at the sky, Hubble is a telescope that has a bunch of different cameras on the back, and they all look at slightly different parts of the sky. So that when one camera is looking at, say, the Keyhole Nebula, there are other cameras looking at slightly different parts of the sky, and they take these pictures in parallel, and then they bring them down to Earth, because you never know what you're going to find. There might be something interesting in there. As a matter of fact, I published a paper on an object we found by accident in one of the Hubble images. And so the main camera, The main camera's in the center here, and there's the near-infrared camera, and SDCC, the camera I worked on, and the cosmic origin spectrograph. So when the main camera was looking here, SDCC was looking over here, and it's a big square, and we'd get these pictures in every day, and I would come in every morning, and they would have a printout, and I would look at the picture, and I would see what it was. And it was usually just like smudges and stars, and not that much that was very interesting. But then I'm hoping that Will Wheaton is watching this right now. He's probably having a smoke outside. But the next picture came in. Paul, thank you. And this picture, you can see there's a couple of stars in here. And then my eye was drawn. Go ahead and go to the next one there, Paul. To this. Look at that. This is not faked. This is a real Hubble image of two galaxies about 1 billion light years away. I was able to determine that. This is an edge-on spiral, right? So it's a spiral galaxy you're seeing edge-on, and here's a face-on spiral, and of course, that means that this must be, for Paul, to turn to the next slide, w00tstock. One last slide. I have to do this technically. Paul, if you can go to the next one. It's just a list of the credits. They get really antsy if you don't do that. So, Paul, do I have time?
Yes, you do.
Oh. Who here follows me on Twitter and on my blog? What a bunch of losers. You may know I've been tweeting and blogging for the past, I don't know, 8 months about my super secret project. Today at w00tstock. Yeah, that's true. I'm taking over for Matt Smith. I didn't want to, but Karen Gillan really was begging me, so I'm the 12th Doctor. Yeah, no. My super secret project is going to be revealed here at w00tstock right now. Terribly excited to say that I have a show that is going to be airing on the Discovery Channel. Thanks. It's a 3-part show right now. We're hoping it'll get picked up for unlimited runs so that I can be as powerful and crush people like Adam Savage. I can't tell you when it's going to air yet, it doesn't have an air date, but the first episode will be airing this fall sometime. And the Discovery Channel today released a trailer for it on YouTube. So Paul, if you would please.
Yeah, it smells like mass extinction.
So a massive asteroid is bearing down on the Earth. We're talking about millions of lives. People could die. It's the real thing. We're going to try to save the Earth. We've seen it done in Hollywood movies. Would that actually work? Today we're going to find out exactly what's going to happen. I don't want to model an asteroid impact. I need a big explosion. It helps to know what this thing is made of. But we have to start looking into this now. Because this may be the difference between life on Earth and no life at all. The universe is a dangerous place. Threats can come from any direction. But pop culture has played fast and loose with the facts. And quite often, the things we think we know are all wrong. And when you're dealing with the universe, ignorance can be deadly. That's where I come in. I'm Phil Plait. I'm an astronomer on a mission. Show you the real science behind the mysteries of this planet, our solar system, and the bad universe we all live in. It just may save your life. That was actually me riding in an F-16, and no, I did not throw up. But that's episode 2. You can wait for that one. Thank you very much. It's been an honor.